Hello and welcome to another jungle tutorial, and in this one I'm going to be helping you answer the eternal question: how can you be the better jungler against a jungle smurf and come out on top? But not only that, what if the whole team was full of smurfs and you had to be the one to carry it? That means when you come across a smurf in solo queue, take the opportunity to elevate your game and make sure they don't get that win. Change your attitude about it and hopefully not only you get better and get a win, but the smurf jungler also gets tilted. And yes, in this case I'm going to show you how to jungle against a smurf and abuse the fact that they're most likely playing with a duo queue. All of these things should factor into your jungling game plan, and if you implement it correctly, not only will you get this one win, it will teach you how to carry your own games in your rank and then hopefully climb. Remember, you improve by playing against people better than you. The same can be said for any activity, not by playing against people that are the same or lower level. Let's use this opportunity. And on the concept of coaching and improvement, I do have my Virkayu gameplay channel where I upload multiple videos a week on coaching sessions, so if you're interested in that, please click the link below. So step one is obviously to try and convince your team, hey listen, I know they have 4 smurfs, and look, you can see the scorecard, they really do. And the one smurf on the red team is actually the ADC who had the worst game of all. Now the first thing you need to do is identify the duos and make sure you split them. What I mean by that is make them tilted at each other because one of them isn't doing their job and they are actually being smurfed on. And guess what? That's the jungler. You want to make this jungler feel pain from his mid laner's tilt, because the one thing you can't punish against smurfs is their arrogance. They are not going to be expecting an enemy jungler to take the game to them. They are smurfing. They're here to chill and just ruffle stomp over people for content. Did I get that meme right? I think that's a meme on the Reddit at the moment. But nonetheless, they're not expecting someone to actually try hard against them. But that's what you're here for, because that's what heroes do. So as I provide some context over your early game plan, you can watch the first clear. Given the MMR of this game was around plat 3, you know that Twitch with the Talon duo queue and that win rate is probably a much higher rank than this, trying to do some red IRL stuff. But you picked the right champion and so you can actually take control. Now naturally, the Caitlyn is AFK on tower, the Morgana's AFK in the base. All of these things are normal, you wouldn't expect any less. First things first, make sure you put the wards down early game. Rush out, get wards in the pixel bush, ask your mid to put a ward in front of the red buff. You know that Twitch is going to do one of two things, either go from red into blue to make sure they actually have an element of surprise, or simply go from red into a gank. With the early vision, you're at least covered to a certain degree. Not necessarily from the Twitch's invis gank, but at least from any other movement. And now you've reached level 3, you were shadowing mid lane just in case of Twitch, but when he doesn't show up for the level 2 cheese, maybe he wants to play it a bit safer because you are Rek'Sai, you must draw first blood. You must get the first gank. Do not let a cheese jungler like Twitch get away against a Rek'Sai with having more pressure. Shadow mid lane, have a bit of patience, you know the Twitch is going to be somewhere around the area. Once your echo hits 3, you have the stuns, you have the chain CC, let's go in. The mechanics leave a little bit left to be desired, but you know, you don't need to flash for the stun, that's great. You have to flash out, you miss your Q because the Talon dodge. But the fact that you force the issue and the echo actually follows up means you grab that first blood. Now if you play it mechanically well, in this case the Rek'Sai didn't, you probably get the kill in a much more easy fashion. The Twitch does show up for the counter gank, but you've drawn first blood. You are lucky to survive, you beat the Twitch to the punch, he doesn't get anything. Remember, you're trying to turn up your aggression to 11 and make the enemy feel like they're lagging behind in decision making, and for Smurfs that's the worst thing for them because they always expect a free win, especially with these kind of win rates. You watch very carefully, you see the Twitch go up. This is very important because now you know, hey, I can go get the bottom crab for extra HP, I can go back into my jungle and take the wolves. You know the Twitch is most likely taking the top crab, he might even look to gank top lane. However, with the experience buffs recently, camp sequencing farming being so powerful, the Twitch is actually going to go ahead and take the raptors. You don't know this at this stage, so you don't really know exactly where he is. This doesn't change your game plan. Go straight back to mid lane before your first B and take out the Talon again. After that first kill, you surely have some confidence, the mechanics are more on point, the Talon has no flash, the echo gives you the kill. As Rek'Sai, you do want to take some of these. You want to carry the game, so you do need the kills. And now help shove the wave. Remember, everything in your mind needs to be about where is Twitch, what does Twitch want to do, and how can I prevent him getting free kills? On the other side of the same coin, Talon is his duo. Now you're camping the Talon who's not expecting this kind of jungle pressure from the Rek'Sai in this elo versus the Twitch who is most likely Master Plus. The Talon will get tilted, but he's not quite there yet. 2 deaths he can handle. Now there are 2 schools of thought here for the Rek'Sai. As you go into your Raptor pit, you see they've been taken. You sequence up to the Krugs to get level 5. Now because Twitch doesn't show up, you know he was last seen topside. Most likely at this point he's cleared that area, gone back to base, and will head to the bottom lane to conduct a lane gank. Remember, the enemy bottom lane in this case, a Lulu Jinx, are also Smurfs. So in this case, instead of doing your Krugs, you could have recalled, itemized, got the control ward, and try and cut them off. On the other hand, because the Echo had to go back to base after those kills on the shove, you know the Talon right now is going to shove the wave and look to go and deep ward your blue side jungle. He's going to look to dive the bottom lane with his Twitch, try and 4v2 that, and it's unlikely you'd be in any sort of position to actually do much, and highly likely you actually just get killed. So the concept here of sequencing from Raptors to Krugs and giving up that map control isn't actually so bad, because now you're level 5, you get your scanner, you get a control ward, you get your longsword and boots. However, as I always say with coaching, make sure if you know people have been invading your jungle, activate that scanner, clear out the vision, know that you've been seen. Junglers, we're not exhibitionists, we don't get changed and showered with the curtains up, we close everything so that no one knows what we're doing. Nevertheless, that didn't really enter into the mind of the Rek'Sai as you can see, but what she did notice was the Twitch being in the area after the gank on the bottom lane, knowing that the little rat is going to be roaming into the river, uses the Tremor Sense and a control ward, and then burns the free flash from the cheese ball. And the Talon in this instance isn't really expecting yet another gank. Both the Twitch and the Talon were expecting the Echo to go back mid lane, the Rek'Sai to go into the river, and then they could both deal with their people, get kills, get the dragon, and walk on with their lives. The thing is though, you are the Rek'Sai and you are trying to defeat the Smurfs, and so you have to think like a Smurf. Extra pressure. Talon doesn't respect you. Okay, I go and gank you. The tunnel that you just made to go and test the Raptors, that's still up. So the Talon's ideology of, hey, I will shove and then E away for all time doesn't really work against Rek'Sai. That's why Rek'Sai is such a good anti-smurf champion, because you are going to have things like Talons and Twitches against you in this situation, and then you can chomp down. Now in this case, the last time you saw Twitch, he was level 4, he had to flash away, he's going to take his time to do Krugs, Red Raptors and what have you. You just got another kill on the Talon, take the Raptors, go and get that crab and wait for it, use a vision plant to scout for any potential wards, and now take your red buff. Usually in these cases we preach, go take your Krugs, look for a gank on the top side. However, because the duo is smurfing from a mid-jungle perspective, we're not really concerned with the side lanes, only with shutting them down. You wait for a gank using your tunnel at the mid lane, the Talon understands where you are at this stage, they all knew your top side, and so the duo smurf is going to try and sneak that dragon. Remember, bottom side has prior most of the time, and so as you see Talon walk over that ward, go ahead and collapse. Remember, the one thing they want to do is they know they can scale. They know eventually you will greed, you will make a mistake, as most people do in this MMR, and that's why heralds, that's why dragons, these are so crucial. You want to use this pressure to suppress them and make sure you have the win condition of the Dragon Soul. And remember, this is all part of phase 1, exert pressure that they don't expect, get a lead so that you can carry, and make sure you split the duo's decision making. And as you saw from the dragon there, the Talon was doing it by himself. The Twitches on Raptors, super far behind, no lane pressure, the Talon's tilted, he's being spam ganked. They are now angry at each other and annoyed that they have to try. Mission accomplished. Except please, after this, yes, you can go do your blue. Yes, you can go look to collapse on the Talon again, but don't overgreed, don't mess up your mechanics, and don't give him the shutdown. Sure, it's great to get the kill, but you don't really want to give him anything. So overall, do I like the play? Yes. Do I like the aggressiveness? Yes. I don't really like the result and the, clunkiness of it. But trust me, that Talon is even more tilted from being dead than you are. But now it's time to turn on the 200 IQ. Remember, sometimes your laners in your MMRs are not bad. Sometimes they just need to be left alone. Sometimes they just need no jungle interaction. Your Singed is such a player. He's been able to gas up the entire top lane and basically suffocate the Camille, and also get deep vision onto the Twitch's blue side, much like the Talon did to you. So, both junglers having the same thing here. Except the difference is because you burned the Twitch's flash earlier, now when Singed collapses on him, he just freely dies. And this is stage 2, make the game seem unwinnable, and you do that through objectives and jungle tracking. You just saw the Twitch go from bottom to top side. He just died going top side. This means he really doesn't have any interest going back up there to repeat the process, because the gas actually smells worse than his feet, or cheese. No, he's going to want to go and lane gank bottom lane again. He's going to try and start to force things. He will feel like the only way he can actually carry this game is through ganking, which is true. He's not really going to AFK farm you at this stage, and you have total objective control because he showed top. That means you need to hover farm. Do your blue, do your grump, but anticipate that the rat will show in lane and that you can be there for the counter lane gank. This is one of the worst things for Smurfs to encounter. It's actually one of the worst things for all junglers to encounter. You think you're doing a beautiful lane gank, and the enemy jungler read you like a book, and they are right there to clean up. The Rek'Sai almost actually left the situation. She made the right read, but didn't think it was going to happen, so good thing she turned around and got that free kill on the Lulu. The Echo TP's a little bit, unnecessary, but, good pressure, good to show that he's looking at the map. And now again, Talon's doing the same thing. Shove, plates, and simply wants to E over the wall. I'd really advise he actually destroy that tunnel, but hey, he's the Smurf, he's arrogant, right? Caitlyn says leave the minions so you don't push them. You go straight to the river, you keep going until you meet with Talon, who thinks he's getting away with taking your raptors. You have Tremor Sense, and the thing is, when your whole team knows you're against Smurfs and they see someone popping off and making the calls and collapsing and doing all these good things that you as the jungler are doing, they will rotate to help you a lot. Even if they don't, you do get the kill here on the Talon. Looks a bit funky because of the flips and the Rek'Sai ultimate and the Echo Q, but another kill is collected, and now you can take the big bulbous-eyed Rift Herald. Swish. Again, as I said, sometimes your top laner just needs his freedom to fight away. And again, the Twitch isn't going to be expecting this kind of pressure, and at this point, he is highly tilted. You see him go from top lane to the Grump, let's collapse. Even if Echo doesn't rotate, I know you guys are thinking, my mid laner doesn't rotate. Even if Echo doesn't rotate, you kill him in basically one shot. You don't need help, it's just nice to have it. Remember, Herald's best used when there are 2 plates left on the top tower. This is a little bit close, but basically because you used it at that HP, you can afford to actually shove it even more and grab yet a second tower. Really good. Now the Cinch will have freedom to switch lanes to bottom side, to rotate mid. Now you have numbers advantages for the next dragon play. And yes, Talon was making the counterplay on the bottom side. There's not much you can do about that. You have to expect some fight back from these players, but you definitely come out ahead in terms of the objective game. Now your back timing because of this is offset with the Twitch's lane gank on the bottom side, but as you can see, he just goes auto down and killed. Camille knows she cannot lane against the Singed and must try make a play, ends up going to the bottom lane herself, but you're a very good jungler, you have reactive pathing after the blue straight down to the bottom lane. Let's turn that fight around and grab ourselves some more kills. Nice Rek'Sai mechanics to flash onto the bottom lane, well played to reburrow and then knock up the Camille. An excellent jungle game plan by this Rek'Sai, executed to perfection to tilt, eradicate, and destroy these cheeses. Now at this point, obviously the game is about closing out and there will be some throw moments, and this is what we're trying to avoid against very good players, because that's all they're waiting for. They know you don't know how to close in your elo, they know that you're going to make a mistake. So how we avoid this is, after taking that dragon, we go back to base, you go do your Grump, your wolves, you sequence up, because the next objective is the Baron. Don't go forcing fights, just scan, set traps in the jungle, kill the Ashe. Beautiful. Very simple. You can do this with Rengar, Rek'Sai, any champion. However, at this stage in the game, you don't really have the siege power. All you're looking to do is starve them slowly, shove the waves, ward, don't get caught in a trap. If you as a jungler now think, hey, we got the Ashe, let me take the wolves and the Grump. That's great, that's exactly what you want to do, except the enemy team is in the know. They have 4 people that are very good at the game. As soon as you disappear, as soon as Singed or Caitlyn or someone isn't there, they're going to go all in and engage and use the numbers advantage they have to try and make a pick and get shutdown kills. The best advice I can give you is not to Q and R the Talon for no particular reason and then die. But hey, she's had a great game, we will allow this one throw. But that's all you get, just one. However, now we need to talk about your decision making in the mid to late game as you want to close early with a Rek'Sai Warwick or anything else basically. If your top laner keeps split pushing without understanding when he needs to group, when to rotate, and he starts to get picked off a lot, which will happen by the way, especially versus a Twitch comp, you have to use all your tricks in your bag to make sure your team is still focusing on the win condition. In this case, using the Herald mid lane is absolutely fine. You're not going to get anything from it, but at the very least you will apply the pressure that if they don't deal with it, they lose an inhib. This gives you your 3rd dragon, yes, this is the 3rd one. But now back out, don't fight, just leave. You don't have the numbers advantage, this isn't going to go well for you. If you play badly like you do in this situation, you're simply going to die and give more shutdowns, and now you can sense the feel, the throw, the momentum shift. The Smurfs are starting to scale, and you are starting to not understand how to macro close. So here's what you do. You simply keep doing what you were doing. Set the trap, push into the jungle, get vision control, and then wait. They have nothing to do, they have nothing to farm, no objectives to take, no waves to take, they will have no choice but to push up and try and make a pick themselves. When you do that, you win the fight. Now this is probably one of the ugliest Rek'Sai fights I've ever seen in my life. The Echo manages to do things, and fortunately you're all so far ahead that it doesn't really matter. But, you know, if the Rek'Sai hits the skills properly and doesn't accidentally take the tunnel, you win the fight anyway, so, you know, it's all good. But from here, onto the Baron, you can do it fast. This is the win condition. Baron, into Dragon Soul. Yes, they will be up. Yes, they will collapse. Yes, people will die. But you have an Echo, you have a Rek'Sai, kill the Talon, move on straight down to the Dragon. The nice thing about Dragon here is even though that they all collapse and they want to take it, your whole team is up. And if they fight and they lose the game. However, if they don't fight, they lose Dragon Soul. The thing is, losing the game is, you know, worse than losing Dragon Soul. You can give up Dragon Soul and hold it for Elder, but as the red team, you really don't want that to happen. So as a Rek'Sai, as the engager, as the person who is actually carrying the game in terms of map pressure and kills, as soon as you see the Talon rage splitting on the top side, flash engage, make up for that weird team fight you had earlier, ult the Ashe and make sure she's removed from the map, help your Singed chase down the Twitch, and brute force the victory down their throats. And there you have it. That was intense because I felt it was very important to show you guys that when you are against Smurfs, you can beat them. You just have to shift your mindset. You have to Michael Jordan the game. Turn your knowledge into a 200 IQ brain, insert it into your head, and dominate that enemy jungler like he hasn't seen since he played on his main 2 months ago. Use it as a catalyst, use it as motivation, use it to test your skills to the limit, and if you can do that, and it's an eye-opener for you, you should be able to play like this every game, dominate your elo, and start to climb a lot more easily. If you agree, are motivated, and like Vikings, please do like, share, and comment, and I hope you enjoyed and learned something. I do like to reach around 1500 likes because that's the length of Volleybre's new braids in meters. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed it, to the Virkayu gameplay channel if you want coaching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial, and thanks for watching.